Talking about this drilling mission in Mars,
Yep.
it was initially thought it was a success, this teeny tiny little drill getting some samples, but apparently it was too, dry and dusty to get anything of use.
Yeah, so Mars Perseverance, one of its big goal is to drill down, and you're kind of seeing the drill and the mound hole that it went into to sample rocks, to scoop those rocks, analyze it on board, and then save it for a return mission back to Earth. But what they found when they took the photos is they essentially just went into this very fine ground, almost sandy like. So when they drilled down, they weren't actually able to scoop up any rock. It ended up empty, and it was quite disappointing because this thing is obviously very complex to be operating remotely on Mars with the communication delays. They can't do it in real time. So in order for it all to work flawlessly, except the only part was the land they chose, was a bit of a disappointment. It was always supposed to have multiple samples and go multiple places, so they will just have to venture to their second one. But a little bit of heartache for the scientists who came up empty, quite literally, on their first drilling attempt.
Well, they'll keep drilling. They'll get something, I'm sure. But there will be disappointment for those astronauts hoping to go to the moon in 2024. The delay, they can't get the suits made in time, really?
Yeah, look, and this is a bit of a sad state right now. So NASA has been trying to design new spacesuits for its moon mission. So you're seeing a simple prototype that they unveiled. Look, and the reason it actually looks quite funny is it's supposed to be more maneuverable. I know it doesn't seem like it trying to get up the stairs here. The previous spacesuits were so bulky, astronauts actually had a high rate of tearing their shoulders in them. So astronauts actually had a high rate of shoulder reconstruction surgeries because it was so hard to move. So they wanted to make things that were more modular, can fit better to the astronaut, and work better on the moon compared to what they had in the 60s. Now, this project is now running over time and over budget. The NASA Inspector General said it's now going to be as early as mid-2025 until these spacesuits are ready, and they were hoping to land humans in 2024. So it's going to push back that timeline a bit. So a bit of a disappointment and a slight
out of all the things to blow out that timeline, Brad, and we'll get these suits, that suit vision up again. I love the walking. It reminds me a bit of my toddler, actually, when she's in a bit of a mood.
It really is, yeah, that kind of
out of all the things
side
to delay it, I just can't understand that they got a suit that worked in 1969 and now it's running overtime.
So one of the problems they had was they did have a pandemic, so that slowed them down in the past year and a half. But one of the issues people pointed out is they went to multiple contracts to build parts of it and then come together. And maybe that wasn't the best idea. In fact, I think 28 separate companies are doing different aspects of the spacesuit. And so it wasn't as efficient as having one or two groups just do it all together, which has then blown out that timeline. So it is a bit of a disappointment. As you said, it's kind of hard to imagine they've gone this far over time. The old spacesuits, or the ones they use now in low Earth orbit, aren't suitable as well as for the moon. And they also come in these one size fits all. There's a small, medium, and large, and that's it. So if it's not the right size, you're out of luck. So they maybe went too complex with too many companies too quickly.
Okay. Yeah, maybe the old horse designed by a committee ends up a camel. Brad Tucker,
exactly.
Great to not talk COVID with someone. We'll talk next week. Thank you.
Take care.